Why are finished Podocarpus bonsai so expensive? Welcome back to Beautiful Bonsai. In the previous two episodes, we explored the remarkable position of Vietnamese Podocarpus on the world bonsai map and discovered how the contrasting climates of northern and southern Vietnam, together with different artistic approaches, have shaped two distinctive schools of bonsai design. Today, in the third episode of our Vietnamese Podocarpus series, we will take a closer look at one of the most fundamental topics in Vietnam's Podocarpus market. Why is a fully finished Podocarpus masterpiece worth so much more than a tree that has simply been grown freely? Today, two completely different production philosophies coexist within Vietnam's Podocarpus industry. The first approach is commonly found in commercial nurseries that produce trees on a large scale. Their strategy is straightforward: plant the trees directly in the ground and allow them to grow without artistic training. The trees are left to develop naturally, with little or no wiring or shaping. The primary goal is to produce massive trunk bases, thick trunks, and vigorous branches in the shortest possible time. For ordinary landscape trees, size often determines value. A large trunk immediately attracts buyers and allows growers to recover their investment quickly. However, these oversized trees are still nothing more than raw material, what bonsai artists commonly call pre-bonsai stock. Although they may appear powerful and impressive, they lack artistic structure, refined foliage pads, and the aesthetic qualities that define a true bonsai masterpiece. The opposite philosophy requires far greater patience. Instead of pursuing size alone, artists dedicate themselves to creating fully refined bonsai. Their objective is not simply to grow the biggest possible tree, but to achieve harmony in every line, every curve, and every rhythm of the trunk and branches. From a very young age, each tree is carefully guided. Every sacrifice branch is managed with intention. Every shoot is pinched repeatedly. Every structural branch is refined little by little until the tree gradually develops its own artistic character. Whether large, medium-sized, or miniature, a finished Vietnamese Podocarpus bonsai possesses a unique elegance and spiritual presence that oversized field-grown trees can never achieve. Time and technique, the greatest challenges behind Vietnamese Podocarpus. To truly understand why a finished Vietnamese Podocarpus commands such a high value, we must first understand one essential factor: time. Unlike many fast-growing ornamental species that can be shaped within only a few growing seasons, Vietnamese Podocarpus is perhaps one of the greatest tests of patience in the bonsai world. There are no shortcuts. Its wood is exceptionally dense and hard, while wounds heal very slowly. Building a complete branch structure therefore requires decades of careful wiring, bending, pruning, and ramification development. A single mistake can be extremely costly. If an artist places one primary branch incorrectly or accidentally removes an important structural branch, it may take 5 to 10 years simply to rebuild what has been lost. Over many generations, Vietnamese bonsai artists have developed remarkably sophisticated techniques for creating artistic Podocarpus. Unlike industrial production, where quantity is the priority, creating truly beautiful foliage pads requires extraordinary patience and precision. The artist must wait for the tree to mature naturally, repeatedly wire and prune its branches, carefully pinch every new shoot, and continually reduce the internodes to stimulate dormant buds hidden deep within the tree. Only through this long process can the tree develop dense, velvety foliage pads that appear soft, layered, and floating like drifting clouds. Creating a fully refined Vietnamese Podocarpus masterpiece demands meticulous care over many decades. The artist must carefully balance every element, allowing enough sunlight to penetrate the inner canopy so the interior branches remain healthy while preserving the elegant silhouette, refined branch structure, and graceful movement that give the tree its timeless beauty. Long-lasting form, and the difference in value. One of the greatest strengths of a fully refined Vietnamese Podocarpus is its remarkable ability to preserve its form over time. Once the trunk structure, primary branches, and foliage pads have reached their ideal proportions, the tree grows in a calm and balanced manner without losing its artistic composition. Many other ornamental species grow so vigorously that, without frequent and aggressive pruning, their design can quickly fall apart after just one rainy season. A finished Vietnamese Podocarpus, however, behaves very differently. Its elegant silhouette remains stable for many years. For collectors, this means that once they own a completed masterpiece, only light and regular pinching is needed to preserve its refined beauty year after year. Because of this exceptional stability, and because decades of patient craftsmanship are required to achieve it, the market value of a finished Vietnamese Podocarpus is dramatically different from that of an untrained field-grown tree. A large field-grown specimen is generally priced according to its height and trunk diameter, much like any other commercial agricultural product. A fully refined bonsai, on the other hand, may not be exceptionally large, yet its value can exceed that of a much bigger untrained tree many times over. When a collector acquires a finished Vietnamese Podocarpus, they are not simply buying a tree to add greenery, decorate an empty space, or provide shade. They are investing in decades of time, dedication, knowledge, and artistic vision, all embodied in a living work of art that has successfully stood the test of time. The market for finished Vietnamese Podocarpus bonsai today. Vietnam's market for finished Vietnamese Podocarpus bonsai is evolving rapidly across every major segment. Miniature and desktop bonsai. As urban living spaces become increasingly compact, beautifully refined miniature Podocarpus bonsai are becoming more popular than ever. Collectors living in apartments and modern townhouses seek compact trees that still capture the dignity, character, and timeless beauty of an ancient tree in miniature form. Medium-sized exhibition bonsai. Among serious collectors, carefully refined medium-sized bonsai represent the highest level of artistic achievement. These masterpieces frequently appear at prestigious bonsai exhibitions and are treasured within private collections in Vietnam and abroad. Luxury landscape and villa gardens. Even in high-end landscape design, aesthetic preferences are changing. Affluent collectors are no longer searching only for the tallest or largest trees. When sheer size is the priority, many choose Japanese Podocarpus instead. Those who truly appreciate Vietnamese bonsai increasingly seek fully refined Vietnamese Podocarpus, trees with graceful lines, artistic character, and a living spirit capable of bringing elegance, harmony, positive feng shui, and lasting prestige to their surroundings. Conclusion. As we conclude the third episode of our series on Vietnamese Podocarpus, one simple truth becomes clear. True artistry can never be rushed. Field-grown trees certainly play an important role by supplying commercial nursery stock, yet it is the patiently refined masterpieces, shaped through decades of dedication, that truly elevate Vietnamese Podocarpus onto the world bonsai stage. Thank you for joining us throughout this journey into the fascinating world of Vietnamese Podocarpus. If you have enjoyed this series, we invite you to watch the previous episodes already published on our channel. Please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Beautiful Bonsai so you won't miss our upcoming stories about Vietnamese bonsai and the living art that continues to inspire collectors around the world. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next episode.